Good morning, folks, and welcome back to Prepare to Cry reaction series for Elden Ring lore. It has been brought to my attention by some folks in chat, much appreciated, that I missed the Duskborn video. And I was confused by this because I'm a passingly intelligent... Now my wife's nearby, I can't lie. I'm not a very smart person, but I know how to mostly count. And I couldn't figure out how I missed this video. And it's because in the playlist, it showed the video as watched. Folks, I promise you I've never seen this video before, as evidenced by everything you've seen of me. You can be trust. I haven't had my coffee yet. Be nice. Hold on. Okay. As everything evidenced by what I've watched before. Oh shit, I'm gonna need more than one sip of coffee. This is gonna be a long one. Folks, anyway. Good God, how much of that do I need to edit out so people stay here? This is going to be such a long one. I didn't sleep well. Folks, we are finally watching the Duskborn that I somehow thought I'd watch, but I even said in chat, like, what happened to Fia? Like, you know, how is there not a video for Fia? And then chat was like, bro, you didn't watch the video. And I was like, oh, okay. That's on me. It's on me. I was busy murdering Sekiro roosters. Not murdering, defending myself. It was self-defense. That thing came right at me. Anyway, folks, this incredibly long and nonsensical preamble aside, Age of the Duskborn. I have been really looking forward to this one because I didn't finish Fia's quest line. I got distracted by stuff. Fia was one of the more interesting characters for me, who I also had lots of funny euphemisms about because of her sleeping with dead people, which apparently is a literal thing and not a euphemism, which I don't know what euphemism would be. Doesn't matter, folks. Let's react to VaatiVidya's Age of the Duskborn Prepare to Cry series.
Of the Ancient Dragons. The War of the Ancient Dragons began thousands of years ago, and the Erdtree capital came under siege, led by a gargantuan dragon named Gransax.
That's the dead.
The dragons wielded heavenly bolts of red lightning, and so the Knights of the Erdtree learned to fortify themselves against it, and stayed on the defensive.
So I've been wondering because there's that golden helix that spirals up like a spear in Lendel attached to the dragon. I assumed that's what slew the dragon, but judging by that visual and these incredible animations, which should really be used to make a game, like this would be amazing animation for like a background side, you know. Anyway, not important. I have a kitty. I'm gonna have to edit this too. This is so messy. So I assumed that the dragon had been killed by it, but it looks like it was wielding it, which begs a lot of other questions.
Until Godwyn the Golden delivered the decisive blow. He stood before another legendary dragon known as Dread Fortisax and defeated him. But instead of granting death, he showed mercy. He offered friendship, and it was with this act that the ancient dragons and the Golden Order truly became one. Years later, a dire plot was put into action, a plan to kill Godwyn the Golden, so a fragment of the Rune of Death was stolen from the black blade that was designed to contain it. This fragment was then inscribed onto a set of black knives.
I want to talk about the black blade for a second. We didn't talk about this with Ronnie's where it was stolen. Because, so as someone who specializes in security, I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, my master's degree is in accounting, and I specialized in white-collar crime, auditing. And a lot of people think when they watch a movie, they're like, how did you not have this protected? How did you not have this protected? And usually the answer is it is protected. It's just not adequately protected because it's never happened before. And so you look at Malekith's Black Blade, and the story we've learned about it is incredible. But it's that. So let's presume it's on this podium. I think that's story fleshing out that an assumptions Vaati's made. But you've got it there. It's in this ceremonial place. I mean, presumably there are guards or some sort of ceremonial significance to keep people away. Well, Ronnie, beyond the expectations of anyone, someone with Empyrean level access, has, breaks in and steals a shard of the Fragment of Death. Nobody could have realistically expected or prepared for that. And then what happens next is Malekith seals the Black Blade in that, amulet on his wrist because they're like, okay, we need to upgrade security. And so it's this cause and effect reactions that really piece together some of this story, but also should be used to understand it is reasonable that it was stolen. It never made sense that it should always be perfectly 100% locked, because who would do that? And so it's this human perspective of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Oh, it is broke, we need to fix it. And when stories chain together like that rationally, and you can piece that story together based on reasonable inferences, that's when stories like Elden Ring absolutely come alive. And we have seen this cause and effect time and time again. It is 1,000% what I'm loving about this story and unraveling this lore.
Which the Black Knife assassins would wield, and with cloaks of silver that fooled the eye, they snuck into the capital and delivered the first destined death in a millennia.
Wait, I think I just realized. Are these the guys in that northern town where, like, Latena's people were? Are those the guys who were invisible and stabbed the shit out of me? Because he just said wearing silver cloaks that made them invisible to the naked eye. Oh, I have screamed some manly screams in my life, but getting stabbed by those guys was up there. Godwin, I feel for you, buddy.
Godwin should have died a clean, true death, but he did not. Instead, as the mark of death was being carved into his flesh, it was at that very moment also being carved into another of his kin, the Lunar Princess Rani. Rani got her wish and perished in flesh alone, which freed her soul. But Godwin died in spirit alone, and so his body suffered an unimaginable fate. His living corpse would spread a peculiar brand of undeath through the lands between via Deathroot, and wherever there is Deathroot, the hunters of the dead are sure to follow.
There's no mistake, is there? Death has left its mark once again. I'm sorry, I cannot give you your proper rights, but at least you did not join those who live in death. Your soul will return to the Erd Tree in time.
That's news.
Ah, a tarnished, are you? I'm known as D.
This is dialogue
I
of his from
hunt
the
down
Round Table.
those who live in death and weed their death root. Heed my warning. The village here has been touched by death, and worse yet,
Is that dude paddling with a giant horn? You know, come to think of it, I should have noticed that a lot sooner, because he, like, even plays the horn while you fight him.
is home to a mariner. If you value your life, then go no further.
The dead have long been left to wander, and what they need is true leadership. The mariners can call to those who live in death and offer them some semblance of guidance, but they make poor leaders and even poorer fighters. So
They
it
are
is
really bad.
that
They're
the
easy
dead
fights.
continue to live without purpose.
Well, well. Another fool who won't listen to...
Okay, so I have always... Hear me out. The gold armor is Godwin and the silver is Rani. So because that feels like the duality of, you know, the death runes of the time. And now that is beautiful poetry. I think that's phenomenal. But why does it look like a Quado situation from Total Recall? Because that's where my head goes. Like, it's beautiful, but also open your mind. And now I hope none of you can forget that either, because that's stuck in my head. And I will not apologize for that. I should really rewatch that. Oh, I don't know if Mango Wife has seen Total Recall or any of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan stuff. Oh, Rumble in the Bronx. I'm off topic.
Reason, eh? But with a prowess for weeding Deathroot. I spotted the mark of the centipede here in the village. An ill-omened symbol that should not be. Someone or something threatens the sanctity of the Golden Order.
I don't think I ever
must be eradicated.
I don't think I ever encountered him outside of the Round Table hold. Okay, Zodiac Killer. Jesus. They're really good animations, though.
Dee claims to have seen the mark of the centipede in this village, and it seems he's talking about the death root here, which is at the very heart of those who live in death. This death root carries the curse of the centipedal half-wheel wound, which raises the dead from their graves,
I think I missed one
ordering
death
their
root.
bodies to life, without a soul, without guidance, and without grace.
How would you like to earn the strength of beasts? If you're inclined to hunt more of those who live in death and weed their death root, then I'll introduce you to Garank.
Yeah.
I have a matter of my own to attend to, and the beast himself wishes for someone to take my place. What say you? Very well. Show me your map. I've marked the location for you. It will lead you to Garank, the beast clergyman.
The bestial sanctum lies past Farum Great Bridge, deep within the Caelid wilds, past the vulgar militiamen, who are short, brutal mercenaries,
I hate these guys.
and the Black Blade kindred, who...
Wait. Okay, so folks, as a general rule, I love everyone. I think unique perspectives are the best part of life. But why is it that FromSoftware, not just Elden Ring, FromSoftware is trying to make me hate little people? The vulgar militia are some of the most obnoxious assholes in existence, and I'm on day 2 of Sekiro, and the Senpo goblins are the worst thing in existence. Is there a trend here? Am I reading too much into that? Does Armored Core have these tiny little robots that just kick you in the shins? Unbelievable. Also, this guy was fun.
are a patchwork of champions put back together with corpse wax. They're all here in defense of Garank. Or should I say, Malakath. He is Marika's loyal shadow that once kept the rune of death bound within his black blade. That is, until a piece of that death was stolen. Afterwards, he buried the black blade deep within his very self, so that no one could steal it, ever again.
I smell it. Death. Feed it me.
Suffused with the rune of death, Malakath now hungers for Deathroot, desperate to gather back what he strongly feels are the missing parts of himself.
Tarnished. Bring more deaths. I shall grant thee eye and claw. Feed me more.
So I never...
But there was a time before...
I never really felt the value of a lot of these ashes, like, because the death root, he gives you rewards, and in most games, you know, like, you'll get more vitality, more, you know, more health, stronger weapons, things like that, and those are very simplistic. I understand it. Elden Ring is so much broader, which I love about it. But a lot of the ashes of war, like, it became so overwhelming. It's like, I can't test every ash of war I get, let alone the fact that every one has a different requirement for faith, arcane, whatever. And so I never played with, like, any of these. Are they good?
Or the rune of death was bound, and so there were other cultures of death, ways that were even practiced outside the lands between, where the Tarnished lived in exile.
Greetings, great champion called by grace.
I want to hug.
I am Fia. Circumstances have compelled my stay at the Round Table Hold. Great champion, would you allow me to hold you? But briefly.
Allow you? I want to hug too.
My thanks.
I did not know she gave me a
You
debuff
are
until Melania.
Very warm.
When chat was
I
like,
was
bro, you
known
gotta get that health debuff off.
As a deathbed companion. Where I come from, after I received the warmth and lively vigor from a number of champions, I lay with the remains of an exalted noble. To grant him another chance at life, to do so is the purpose of my being. But before I could bear the noble into new life, I was awakened by the guidance of grace.
That's a hell of a
And
photo.
chased from my birthplace.
Originally, the deathbed companions existed to provide a simple comfort to those who were dying. But
That's what I would have thought.
It seems it was discovered that a deathbed companion...
Choosing this spot, so that character there with the cloak, that's Vaati playing the game and moving around to create cinematics in the background. Choosing this spot is absolutely savage. I remember, so there's an item here, but I think this is in the Lendell Capital. Choosing this is absolutely savage. This poor burnt corpse. And Vaati's like, I think this is a good spot to, like, we'll do some background for the FIA video.
Could use...
So Tarnished resurrect anyway, but a deathbed companion allows people who don't have that ability to come back. Hopefully, perhaps once, is what I'm hearing. So my question is, and maybe this will be covered in the video as we go on, is... do we know of any notable characters for which this has been true? Because I think that's been a missing from my understanding of FIA's storyline, is that, nah, this one came back because of that.
As often as it takes.
I need a lot of hugs.
But it's
I gave
not
FIA a
all
lot of
about
hugs.
You. After all, you are not the only Tarnished that FIA lays with. And who knows what secrets are shared in her bedchamber.
Stupid castles. Ruining. This game
nice to meet
castles
you.
for me.
The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name.
I like
I'm
Roger.
looking for a little something.
He died
here in the
fast.
castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormvale Castle? This place is bristling with tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose in mind.
Many external threats have laid waste to Stormvale over the years, and now the castle is marred by mottled thorns that have worked their way through the tortured stone. The soldiers mutter that it's the curse of grafting that causes such an affliction, but some talk of its root being something much more sinister, hidden deep below the castle.
Oh yeah, we've seen that tree.
That is why Roger is here, on a mission of his own. And as you square up against Godric, he is searching for the source of the mottled thorns.
Right, Rogier, I remember going back to the Round Table Hold sometime after Stormvale Castle, and he was sick. Like, he had basically picked up some affliction, which presumably ties to this.
And he finds it. For the world has grown crooked, and if one intends to put it to rights, then they'd best understand what happened to make it that way, no matter the cost.
That seems bad.
The world is slowly being taken over by the death root that is Godwyn. For when Godwyn died, his body was buried in the deep root depths, in what seems like an esteemed position directly below the Erd Tree. This would have been done in accordance with the practice of Erd Tree burial.
But only his soul was killed, not his body, so his body is doing this festering crazy nonsense. This is so cool. It's gross. Very cool. Super gross. Would not recommend. This is great story. Keep doing it. Never do this again.
A process which replaced destined death. For under Marika's Golden Order, death exists, but it is not the end, and the roots of the Erd Tree should call to all of the dead in time, reabsorbing them into the great tree where they may one day be reborn. Godwyn, being a great hero, likely received the burial rites that placed him as close to the Erd Tree as possible, but this backfired horrifically, for the roots would instead take up Godwyn's cursed essence, like a tree absorbs water, and spread the mark of the centipede throughout the lands between via Deathroot. So it is that those who live in death were born, and the hunters of the dead would follow.
I serve the Golden Order, that I might put this crooked land to rights.
One of the other things I want to talk about briefly is the Golden Order and how well the story captures that the Golden Order is not simply one mind. The Golden Order is an organization, a effectively a governmental body, hell, even a religion in some perspectives. But you can see the fragments of what make it up, and you can look at what D is doing and say, oh yeah, the Golden Order's right, that needs to be done. And then you can look at the left hand and say, well, of course, that's what needs to be done. And you look at the right hand, you're like, what the fuck is the Golden Order doing? And they do such a good job showing how people can be part of something that is arguably wrong, but be in a position where what they're doing is clearly right. And so it creates, just like in real life and throughout history and in video games with good storytelling, this juxtaposition of being ostensibly part of the problem, but being somewhat unimpeachable in your actions. And it creates a confusing duality that, if you don't read between the lines, can just become this muddled mess of confusion. But when you separate it, you start to see the complexity of the nature of organizations. And in stories, that's where you see characters, create schisms within the order to say, no, there are good parts of what we do. We're going to rise up and overthrow the parts that aren't good. And that's not necessarily what happens in Elden Ring, but even with Ronnie, you can see that's what happens. But so you can see the fragments of motivation. It's so good.
Following only the guidance of the great Elden Ring. Those who live in death fall outside the principles of the Golden Order. Their mere existence sullies the guidance of gold, tainting its truth.
Those guys tainted my truth.
And so it is the vermin must be exterminated. Down
just
to the
past
very
Stormvale
last.
Castle before you go into the Carrion Swamps.
The Hunters of the Dead are fanatics who are glad to have an absolute evil to contend with. But does such an evil even exist in the fundamentals of order?
Are you acquainted with a man named Roger? You know, the piteous fellow hiding away on the balcony.
Yeah.
He was a formidable spellblade in times past. Don't let his ease...
In times past? You mean like 2 hours ago?
The air deceive you. He was wise beyond his years, stout of heart and clear of mind.
Ah, so you've met D. D is an old friend. We found ourselves journeying together for a time, bound by our exploration of death.
I don't remember
But our
this
paths have
dialogue.
since diverged, never again to cross. Though that's hardly an uncommon fate for two friends.
No more, though. You see him now.
I hated watching him waste
Ravaged by
away.
thorns, muttering and rambling, like he's half dead already.
Couldn't change a thing.
I can't stomach to watch. Take well the lesson, friend. That's how you end up when seduced by those who live in death. When grace is sullied, it rots people from the inside, breaks them.
This whole cutscene is so disgusting.
This is what the Golden Order has been reduced to. Godric, the runt of the litter, dependent on the strength of tarnished champions.
Clapping.
But Fia's favor is bestowed upon her consorts. It allows them to ignore any aches or pains, for in death there is only peace. For in death there can be no sensation.
Ah, you defeated Godric and claimed yourself a great rune. Looks like we both got what we wanted out of Stormvale, didn't we?
Question. So we know people are trying to collect the Great Runes, like Tarnished, in the pursuit of becoming the Elden Lord. We know, like everyone, it is known that you have to collect at least like 2 of the runes or whatever to be able to work the mechanisms to get to certain levels in Lendel and blah, 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 blah. Gideon ultimately confronts us because he thinks he should be the Elden Lord, which I think is a reasonable stance, honestly. I'm a lunatic. But my question is, why does nobody in the round table hold? Like, why is there no infighting? Now, I know there is a, well, actually, no, because Gideon's bodyguard tries to kill us at one point. I was going to say, I know there's like a blessing over the place, which even the Dung Eater talked. Hold on. Now I'm confused. Let me go back this up. So there is a blessing of serenity, tranquility that prevents anyone from fighting in the round table hold. The Dung Eater explicitly mentions it, otherwise he would kill us and defile us and put his seed in us. It's not even about his video, and he's corrupting it. He's corrupting everything. I hate him. The loathsome Dung Eater. Not important. Well, kind of important. Anyway, Gideon's bodyguard attacks us. How does he do that with the Serenity and Tranquility? I remember that confused the shit out of me because I teleported to the Round Table Hold and suddenly some creepy skeleton hair mask dude is attacking me. Presumably because he didn't want me to marry Nephili. By the way, Nephili is my in-game wife. If you missed that quest line, sorry. Probably only for me. But so the question remains though, why, Rajier, D, why do these characters not try to take the Great Runes from each other? Because we've seen no evidence of tarnished infighting, I don't think, other than Gideon appearing at the end. Okay, that's my question. I think there was a question in there.
Well done, friend. Always good to see you safe. So, the misshapen corpse under Stormvale. That is a sacred relic of the Black Knives plot, as that famed night of assassination is known. It happened during the golden age of the Erd Tree, long before the shattering of the Elden Ring. Someone stole a fragment of the Rune of Death from Malekith, the Black Blade, and on a bitter night, murdered Godwyn the Golden. That was the first recorded death of a demigod in all history, and it became the catalyst. Soon, the Elden Ring was smashed, and thus sprang forth the war known as the Shattering. I once wished to become a scholar, you see. I've spent many an hour scouring the archives for knowledge of that fateful plot. And that thing is to blame for the shape I'm in now. I urge the utmost caution. Don't disturb the corpse more than necessary.
I never do. Oh, I want another hug.
My dear, have you ever heard of Black Knife Prince?
Does anyone, someone surely has cosplayed Fia and just gone around hugging people at a convention. Absolute legend.
Dear Roger likes to talk of them when abed. And the ancient plot in which the first of the demigods was slain. The black knives wielded by the assassins who committed the act, along with the impressions they made, somehow hide the truth of the conspiracy. These grand affairs are hardly my forte, but dear Roger began to weep as he spoke. In truth, I've heard tell from someone else about the Black Knife Prince that fascinate dear Roger so, but it wouldn't be right to give this to him, stuck as he is in the Round Table Hold. Perhaps you could make use of it?
With a crudely drawn map in hand, we can find a living black knife, one of many who lurk purposeless in the dark places of the lands between, and D is here to help you.
I don't remember this.
Ah, hello. You've been busy weeding Deathroot, I take it. I thank you, as your brother-in-arms.
The Black Knives were, after all, instrumental in undoing D's beloved order. So here, he takes his revenge, and you walk away with an imprint of a black knife.
That'd be a cool tattoo.
This is a black knife print. I can scarcely believe you managed to get your hands on this.
I missed all this.
Please, I beg of you, lend me the knife print for a time. I'd love nothing more than to tease out its secrets. Half my body has been suffused with death. I'm certain it will help me see. Though only a fragment, a very specific ritual had to be performed to impart the power of the Rune of Death. Traces of the one who performed the rite are sure to remain in the imprint. Truly, you have my thanks. Time.
Now, this isn't Elden Ring style, so I'm not worried about it, but I swear to God, if it's possible to save Rajier and I missed it, I'm going to go flip the table. I don't have a table over there. I will find a table to flip.
Can move rather slowly, stuck here. you know? A little conversation goes a long way.
I love that he recovered his mind, because Dee said when he first came back he was rambling. And he was, I remember that. But then he kind of collects himself and knows he's going to die, but he has retained that coherence.
So Roger continues his investigation, and you continue to seek out Deathroot, waiting for the truth of things to be revealed.
PTSD's
You are basically put to good use by everyone around you.
I am pleased to see you again. Would you like me to hold you?
Always. Who's that?
Now.
Sincere question, folks. This is the question of the day for the comments. How many times have you hugged Fia? That is my question of the day. I think for me, the answer's got to be like 24.
Come closer. You are so very warm. I heard that you lent a hand to dear Roger. He seemed positively elated. He must be possessed of great mental fortitude.
Yeah.
It anchors his will and sustains him.
It's the
Despite
nose
his
that
grievous
bothers me
wounds.
here.
You truly are a champion. To dear Roger. And myself, too.
Yeah, Roger's a
My
good
dear,
dude.
might I ask something of you? Could you please find the owner of this dagger and return it to them?
God, I missed all of
A
this.
certain person gave it to me as a gift. It's a very precious thing.
So failing to collect that dagger, helping Rogier, and partnering with Dee, I think is what cut me off from the rest of this quest line. Because I ultimately found Fia by the tree down below, fought the spirits of people, including Rogier, who kicked my ass a couple times. But I think that's what cut me off from completing a lot of this.
It must have a special place in the owner's heart. So I would like for the original owner to have it back, if you wouldn't mind.
This weathered dagger was once a special weapon of gold and silver intertwined, except now it has been worn down and marred by a black gash.
Sounds like something Dee would know.
It's natural to think that this weapon belongs to Dee. But then, why didn't Fia give it back to him herself?
Well,
Shut up, I'm
what
smart.
have we here? How did you get your hands on that dagger? Well, that hardly matters. I know very well whose dagger it is.
Yeah, he would.
Why don't I return it to them for you? Good work bringing this to me.
That's suspicious. Why wouldn't, like, even if he offers to return it, why wouldn't you tell us whose it is? He's one of them. I don't know what them is. It's just conspiracy theory talk.
It's almost as if they're playing a game with the dagger, arguing over whose heart it truly deserves to be buried within.
What?
And it's a game that Dee ends up losing. For Fia developed a sorcery to oppose the Round Table Hold, a mist of deathblight that is only effective against the Tarnished, especially if they confront you in a small, enclosed room.
What? Whoa, that escalated fast. Hold on. Fia's like, could you give this dagger back? It's clearly Dee's. What was that? Oh, nothing. Give it. Find the owner. You give it to Dee. Dee's like, oh, I know who this belongs to. And the next thing if this was a murder mystery, I would be lost. Fia.
Finally, it is returned to its rightful place. The stolen Hallowbrand of the exalted noble. And now, I must bid you goodbye as well.
You can't
Though
just
I ask you to
You can't just stab people and then bid people adieu. Otherwise, a lot of people would be getting away with murder. You're under arrest. No, I bid you adieu.
deliver this message to the Round Table Hold. I am Fia, deathbed companion.
We know that.
Hark, Round Table. Disturb not the death of Godwyn, the exalted. We who humbly live in death, live in waiting, to one day welcome our Lord, What right does anyone have to object? Our Lord will rise.
I object? No sane person said... Fia, I hugged you. And she's a crazy person. I've hugged a few crazy people in my life. I've hugged a lot of crazy people. Oh, okay. Never mind, Fia. I guess this isn't a big deal. You're par for the course. I should really reflect on my life. Huh. Okay, never mind. Keep going.
The Lord of the many and the meek.
All this time, Fia was getting closer to recovering the Hallowbrand that Dee stole from Godwin. For this Hallowbrand is the key. It's the curse mark that the Black Knives carved to split death in half, which started all of this in the first place, and Fia has a use for it, while Dee is dead.
Huh.
But Dee is also alive, for Devon and Darian are the inseparable twins. They are of 2 bodies and 2 minds, but 1 single soul. Supposedly, this made them reviled by...
I'm starting to think I did not even play this game, folks. I'm starting to think I hallucinated playing Elden Ring, because I swear to God, the amount of this that isn't just, oh, that makes sense, but is instead like, what the fuck? Please tell me I'm not the only one who, and watching these, is like, I mean, it makes sense, but also where? What item description did I miss where Dee has a twin soul named Devon of all things?
By many, but they found solace within the Golden Order, which accepted their duality of the self.
You know what? Going back to the murder mystery theory, I bet it was Hugh. Fia's innocent. It was Hugh.
They even had armaments forged to represent their state of being. An inseparable sword and a twinned suit of armor. And these items long to find their way back to the other Dee, who yet lives. Devon slumbers in the Eternal City, tormented by Deathblight. And it's here that he is said to have stood before the Prince of Death.
So this image right here is between the Crucible Knight, that when you first jump down, there's a Crucible Knight. I remember going like, wow, there's a lot of blood here. Why is there so much blood? And I turned, there's a Crucible Knight, and I went, oh. Then there's another Crucible Knight, one of the ranged ones, not the shield ones. And then beyond this is the dual Valiant Gargoyles, which is, I swear to God, top 3 worst fights ever designed. Okay, sorry, this was just a perfect image in my head, and so I wanted to say that, because I do remember some things.
Suggesting he was the one who carved the curse mark from Godwin's flesh.
Sorry, circling back on that. So if Devon is there, he wasn't there when I went through, which means after finishing this quest line, you go back there? God, I need a guide for my second playthrough.
Perhaps he even used a weathered dagger to carve it out, and perhaps this dagger was then mockingly gifted to a rotten witch, setting into motion the events that would lead to his brother Darian's death.
That transition. I could watch an hour-long video of that music in the background of Elden Ring.
The spreading death route an easy one. It shows up in Limgrave, in Leonia, even in the mountaintops of the Giants. And it is most common wherever there is stagnant water, which is a medium that represents corruption and defilement, and the death root infects all manner of creatures who meet their end sporting these distorted pustules of Godwin's own visage.
God, I hated these geckos.
Death root even starts to get the better of Marek.
1000% not worth saving 15% or more on your car insurance.
His own shadow. After all, in the end, what we're feeding him is now much more than...
Wait, Gurranq goes outside of the sanctuary? That's news to me. I've never seen him outside of it.
Than just the missing fragments of the Rune of Death. Something has changed.
Strange. There's something else. I must consume more.
So he attacked me after I'd finished the whole game in the DLC. Because I just hadn't been back to him, apparently. After I gave him like 4 death roots or something, and then I hadn't given him the other 4.
I won't forget.
So he says that even if you don't brandish this dagger at him, but brandishing this dagger at him would be so insane.
Again. Mine appetite. My sin. I must have more. I must consume more.
Yeah, me too, buddy. I get peckish. Hungry? I want a Snickers commercial of this. I must consume more. Hungry? Why wait? Grab a Snickers. Don't attack your friends. Snickers! Snickers, call me. I'll do a sponsorship. Literally my favorite candy bar, by the way. It's the Peanuts.
It is all consumed. Still, I am not sated. Not nearly sated.
Okay, so that's if you give them all the death root.
America! Is this what it is to sin? Will things never be the same again?
That's such good rage.
Tarnished. My thanks for thy long labor. But I have done all I can.
So on a serious note, Tarnished, thank you for your long labor. Like, the number of times in an RPG in a game like this where I don't need some fancy reward, and even for life, let's be honest, this is good life lesson, folks, if someone's doing you a favor. A genuine appreciation for the effort that went into the task. I could pass on the cool armor, I could pass on the legendary weapon in 99% of games if the character and the voice actor pulling it off just legitimately gave a heartfelt thank you and appreciated how much work it went into it. I know it's a video game, but seriously, I know this was a lot of work. It really means a lot to me. Like, and to hear that delivered by Gronk is actually crazy. Yeah, I don't need the loot. Just, for the love of God, a thank you. I'd also take a hug, but I don't know that I'd survive a Gronk hug.
In this land, henceforth, mine appetite shall be my sole companion. Farewell.
Me too, buddy. I'm always hungry.
Hello. I was hoping to see you. My examination is complete. Here's the knife print back, with my thanks. Now I have a fairly good idea who performed the rite upon the blade. The person who orchestrated the Night of the Black Knives.
Ronnie.
Lunar Princess Rani. One of the children born to King Consort Radagon and his first wife, Ranala. Demigod and sister to General Radahn and Praetor Rykard. Hers was the name I discovered in the imprint. If Rani truly is the one who plotted that fateful night, then she should bear the curse mark of destined death somewhere upon her flesh.
Oh no. We'll have to investigate Rani's body. This is horrible news.
I would like you to procure it for me.
Consensually.
And then all will be laid bare. I will have the answers I have sought for so long.
Speaking of laying things
Do
bare.
you know of those who live in death?
Ugh. Bad transition.
These souls have committed no offense.
No.
They have every right to life, only they happen to touch upon a flaw in the order. By Dee's account, these defiled fiends must be expunged. But truth be told, I seek the curse mark to save them.
Yeah.
If we're looking for someone to blame in all of this mess, then we...
It's this ass. If you're looking for someone to blame from all this mess, it's this asshole in Stormvale Castle that stole all my runes and pointed me towards a death trap. The number of times I got pushed off that ledge because of this asshole, it is all his fault.
Where do we land? Does the guilt lie with those who live in death, who touched Deathroot? Or with Godwyn, who spawned it? Or should we blame Rani, who thought up the plot in the first place? Personally, I think any fault goes even further back to Marika, who, in her hubris, thought that she could free the world from death. Death and life.
So I think, so as he's answering this, and I know this will continue, but, you know, he's expressing his belief. Vaati's saying, like, look, I think it goes back to Marika. I think, honestly, I think that's the easy answer, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, especially with how much Vaati knows about the lore and everything. But knowing about the lore is not the same as understanding motives and responsibility and accountability. Like, I've had to study that from a legal perspective. And I think one of the greatest failings as a human race we make is our ability to sacrifice nuance, our ability to find easy answers where easy answers don't exist. Oh, it's Marika's fault. So, yes, Marika was we'll call it the original sin, because if Marika hadn't done this, blah, 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 blah. But if we analyze Marika outside of accountability and fault and say, why did she do this? It didn't work. But imagine if we were the main character. Imagine if we played a prequel to Elden Ring and we were Marika and we get to the end of the game. How many of us would choose to get rid of death? That seems like a good answer to the woes and problems we're dealing with. And then the unintended consequence is this following 10,000 years of history. And so it's easy to say, oh, this is Marika's fault, and completely separate the nuance and the understanding of the situation. And then by virtue of saying, well, it stops, the buck stops there, nobody's choices after that matter. Which, when you put it like that, is patently insane. Everyone is guilty. Everyone is responsible for their own choices. And yes, if Snickers had never created the Snickers bar, I never would have eaten 12 of them in one sitting and gotten so sick that I puked. Let's be honest, that's Snickers' fault. That's what Vaati's arguing here. And again, I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but that argument is that, oh, it's Marika's fault, it's Snickers' fault. I made a choice. Rani made a choice. I agree with her choice. I understand her choice, but it's a choice. Everyone, every step of the way, made a choice. And to assign accountability to one person is to fail to appreciate that everyone's choices matter and that everyone is guilty to some degree. We have to let go of this idea that there are easy answers to complicated questions. And Vaati knows that better than anyone when you put this much lore together. All right, I'm going to see if he backs out of that or like spreads it out, or if he's going to stick to the Marika argument. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Should never have been separated. A fact that is more clear now than ever.
A fact that's more clear 10,000 years later when we know the consequences of those well-intended actions. Vaati.
Maybe I should tell you. Lately, I feel I'm on the precipice of falling into a deep, fathomless slumber. And I have an inkling it could...
It's my wife when she gets home from work.
...would spell trouble for you somehow. So I just wanted to get the apology out of the way beforehand. Since you're so scary and all. Well, this is unfortunate.
If you've never been around chronic illness before, first of all, if you've never been around chronic illness, congratulations. I generally think people need to experience more of life to appreciate more. I think being around chronic illness is one that really grows your perspective as a human being, especially in terms of empathy. But it's also one of the ones that I'm honestly just grateful when people don't have that experience. It sucks watching someone waste away physically or mentally. And so Rajay was a little rough for me to watch. And the voice actor does incredible work with this.
Godwyn.
Forms.
Good emote. Top 3 deaths in the game I hated. Like, good story, but I hated.
So, whoever can obtain 2 halves of the curse mark can form a rune. With his dying breath, Roger hints that Fia might be able to use this. And a letter, scrawled by Roger on his deathbed, tells us one last thing. It's that D had a twin brother, and that the other D might be found in an aqueduct beside the Eternal.
That letter was not there, which means that letter triggers only if you've done the quest line. Do I suck at this game? I thought I did well. I'm going to stop watching these videos. They're making me feel very inadequate. It's the same reason I don't watch porn.
City of Nokron, Roger implores us to put his friend to rest and reunite the twins, which we do by returning D's armor.
Can someone drop a comment? Just confirm for me that he is actually there. This is a
Roger
Vaati
goes on to
story.
reveal that Devon stood before Godwin, not far beyond this spot, and indeed Devon and the dagger were death-blighted. So we travel.
I have not played FromSoftware games prior to Elden Ring. Sekiro is only my second. Dude, this coffin thing will never stop being heinous to me. Like, I appreciate that people who played Dark Souls before this, it sounds like it's an obvious thing you must do, and thus when you see it in later games, it seems obvious. But the coffins doing something in Elden Ring was so foreign and batshit insane to me that, like, the comments, people are like, obviously it's the coffin. I'm like, y'all are insane. You have been indoctrinated by ridiculous bullshit. That being said, of course, I respect the coffin taxis now. I'm just saying, first glance, it's ridiculous.
A little farther, upwards to a nameless city that's overtaken by roots, and Godwin himself.
Oh, I forgot about her down here.
Godwin. Oh, my poor, sweet lordling should have died a true death. A scion of the Golden Bough, sentenced to live in death.
Okay, so I remember her dialogue when I listened to it forever ago, like a month ago. And I remember feeling like it was incredibly profound, like most of what the Finger Crone says, but it's so obtuse and indirect that unless you know exactly what they're talking about, it doesn't make sense. It makes so much sense now as we understand that his physical form has been corrupted and is growing into this, decay. That makes way more sense.
How could such a thing come to be?
Yeah, she was upset.
Here, Fia finally lies with Godwin, the Prince of Death, defending his being with the sapped strength of every hero who lay with her.
Yeah.
Including, of course, the famed spellblade, Roger.
Yeah. So I fought these guys, and then I don't think I did anything else with this. Yeah, so Spellblade to fight was actually miserable because he's got the staggered timing of his spells and good damage output on his own. Finding attack windows for him was really difficult. That was unnecessary. I don't even know who Roly Poly or Pumpkinhead is.
There you are. I
Want a
knew
hug?
you would come. What is it you intend?
A hug.
To deny us and our ways, like the dogmatic brutes of the Golden Order.
I really
You
do just
are
want
an
a hug.
odd one.
Thank you.
I am the guardian of those who live in death. They call me a foul and rotten witch. Yet you still wish to be held by me?
like hugs. I feel like most of life's problems could be solved by more human touch.
This is the other Hallowbrand. How did you... Oh, my utmost thanks.
Yeah, so this is what's missing. So I didn't have one of these pieces, presumably tied to missing, Rajier's storyline. Oh, because I would have gotten it from Rajier's note and having Dee join me to fight one of the assassins. I never did that. So that misses that piece, which then chains all the way forward to unlock this, which is why Fia had nothing else for me, though I did get a hug. So that's... okay.
With this, Godwin can take his rightful place as first of the dead and claim a second, illustrious life. You are our true champion. And though I can't be of any use to you, can I hold you tight?
That is
if
use.
only for a moment.
I love hugs. By the way, folks, if you see me in public in London, feel free to ask for a hug. I love hugs.
I will soon lay with Godwin, and it will surely stir within me the new life of the Golden Prince and first dead of the demigods, as the rune of those who live in death. Please, do one thing for me.
That's the dude who attacked me in the round table hold. Also, I did not love this transition. If you hug me, you will turn into that guy from Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail after he drinks from the wrong cup. Ugh.
Brandish this child, my rune, and take for yourself the throne. Stay the persecution of those who live in death by becoming our Elden Lord.
I didn't even know this was a unique ending.
This is goodbye, my dear, but I am satisfied. I choose to lie with Godwin of my own will, not the remains of one chosen for me, and I will bear a child who will inherit your warmth too. What greater blessing could there be but to be born a deathbed companion?
Now, Fia can fulfill her purpose and initiate a rebirth, a gestated rune that tells the broken story of those who live in death. So, Fia lies with Godwin, and she dreams. But it's within this dream that we realize that there is something lurking inside the Prince of Death, a being who, even after all this time, never once stopped fighting against the death in their companion. They are the last thing that stands between Godwin and his new life, and here they refuse to let go, for Godwin was a friend, and they were the great ancient dragon, Dread Fortisax.
Bad music choice. Should have been saxophone. I did not get this fight. Bad Mango. Dude was pissed. Dude, that's so many skeletons. I knew you could summon a couple. I didn't know you could summon, like, Necromancer from Diablo 2. Oh, turns out he has weak ankles. Nope, never mind. I actually really like the four-winged dragons. I think it's such a cool look. Oh, do it! Stab him! Wait, whose side am I on? Doesn't matter. Well, that was cool. That is so cool. I love the golden filigree on this. Oh, no, don't do it. Oh. Okay, that's a crazy cool end sequence.
Finally, you can bring the entire broken curse mark itself into order, the mending rune of the Death Prince, which enables his bastardization of life to become an official part of Death's story. But first, you have to burn down the Erd Tree and
I'm okay with that.
walk alongside Flame to meet the road of destined death, which leads to Faram Azula, a broken city floating outside of time.
See, this is where I first met the four-winged dragons.
And against all logic, Deathroot now grows here too. Turns out, nowhere is safe from its touch, even in Faram Azula, where the true rune of death is still protected by none other than Malakath, who masqueraded as Garank, so that you might feed him Deathroot and help him to achieve the one and only task that Marika saw fit to entrust him with.
I'm looking forward to fighting Malakath again, because the first time I fought him, I had first of all, I was a little over leveled, and I had a beautiful jump combo, and I missed his entire attack sequence and crushed him. He really should have gotten the full health bar back.
Destined death. 'Tis no matter. I hereby vow that destined death shall not be stolen again. Cower before Malakath, Marika's black blade.
This was such a cool transition, which is why I was so disappointed by the fight, because I just bodied it too hard. God, it's so cool. Never saw any of those builds, by the way. Oh, headshot. Oh my god, he bounces off the pillars. That's some Poseidon shit right there.
Marika, why wouldst thou gull me? Why?
Did he say, why wouldst thou dull me? D-U-L-L? And someone got stabbed.
Prince of Death, take a good long look. See the wrath of the Golden Order, the Order's justice writ in blood. This is what's become of your precious witch. Look at this rotten whore. No more children can be got from this useless flesh. This is a proper...
Did he... Hold on! Is that Devin? We gave him the armor and he stabbed my hug buddy!
Death, O Prince. Behold, your mother is dead. This is revenge, you witch. And
moral of the story, folks. Don't give armor and swords to crazy people.
you ghoul. This is the wrath of D. Hello. The rotten witch is dead. The Golden Order unsullied. Now I can look my brother Darian in the eye. Honeyed rays of gold, deliver my spirit. Darian, honeyed rays of gold. Don't you dare. Unless you want to die like a dog. Very well.
Rock to the face.
Die. Die. Die.
Ah, yes. Rock, paper, holy magic. One of my favorite games in Elden Ring.
Then you are a blight. A defiler of the Golden Order and murderer of my brother.
Dog.
I'll grind your corpse into that...
That was pretty cool. Fortisax magic lore. That's so cool.
Forgive me. Sorry.
That's a somewhat poetic way to kill him. So now what? I'll never hug again.
As a deathbed companion, Fia had no choice but to lie with others, until the guidance of grace led her back to the lands between, where she used her chambers in the Round Table Hold to great effect. The sun rises once more in a land where they no longer have to hide.
Yeah, but don't we want to, like, let them go to the afterlife?
The fallen leaves tell a story of how a tarnished became Elden Lord. In our home, across the fog, the lands between, our seed will look back upon us and recall
I ran out of coffee.
the age of the Duskborn.
So, I'm a huge fan conceptually of the Age of the Duskborn, but I'm still not sure I fully understand what the hell that means. Like, we're undead are, like, how much thought do they have? Like, don't get me wrong, like, Fia and others have tremendous capacity, but, like, skeletons, where, like, we've created an age of skeletons? Like, what goal is that? I think I'm missing some details here. But, folks, Age of the Duskborn, that was a really fun video. I missed so much. And not just with Fia's ending in Fortisax, but with Rajier. Bad mango. Bad mango. Oh my god. Folks, these videos are so good. They are so much fun. Let me know what video you want me to watch next, because I forgot about this one. So if I forgot about others, please let me know. But next up then, tomorrow is going to be Tholiar. It's going to be about the Poisoner. I think that's a DLC one, because that's St. Trina, right? Anyway. Tell me what videos you want me to watch, because as long as you're watching them, I'm going to keep posting them. This is a ton of fun. It's a great way to wake up with my cup of coffee and just, learn some of this lore. I am enjoying it. So please let me know what you want me to watch next. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all next time.